All right. So today we are going to be focusing on hip strength, and we will end with some stretches because we're going to be strengthening and that can sometimes cause tightness. So we'll end with some stretches. But the hips are a really important part of our bodies, partially because we need them to move forward, backwards, stairs, all those good things. But they're also considered, at least in my mind, part of our core. They're so central and right next to our abs that if our hips are weak, we'll be floppy. You know, you're more likely to have the scissor gait where you're crossing in. You're more likely to feel unstable, even just when standing, have worse posture. So it's a really important muscle group. We're going to be focusing on the inner, front, outer, and back sides of the hips. So make sure you have some water with you. And when you're ready, you can join me. Let me get in the right spot here. See if that works. A little bit lower. Oh no, look, you can see my plant. It's just like dropping. Need to take better care of that. Okay, there we go. All right. So as always, we're going to start with our cardio. So you're sitting towards the edge of your chair, ab muscles are nice and snug, you can still breathe, and you're sitting up nice and tall without arching your back. So when you're ready, hands are in light fists, knees are staying out, and go ahead and let's start with our arm swings. Keep those core muscles tight, shoulders away from your ears. And keep going. Remember, you can go whatever speed feels comfortable to you. With cardio, typically the faster you go or the more weight that you're holding. We never use weight when we're doing this, but if you do have something that weighs 1 pound or 2 pounds, you could hold on to it. That'll get your heart rate up or just going faster. And we're going to end with our quick 5 seconds. So I'll count down from 3. And then when I say go, we're going to go as fast as we can. So 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow it down. And then stop and shake out. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. When we pick up the speed, those muscles tend to tighten. Hands back in light fists, still sitting up tall, and we're going to punch overhead. If you have any type of shoulder pain or limitation, then you can do our regular forward punches or even punching down towards your knee. So just some type of punch. We're just trying to activate our core muscles a little bit more by reaching overhead. So keep going. Keep in mind that your shoulders should still be away from your ears. I don't want your shoulder hiking up. It still stays down. It's just your arm extending. So keep going. I have a little bit of a cold, so I already feel like this is harder. Can't breathe through my nose as easily. Keep going. All right, and I'm going to count down from 3, and we're going to go as fast as we can. 3, 2, 1, and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slow it down and drop your arms, shake everything out. Again, since we're focusing on hips and core today, mostly hips, but core through our hips, we're going to do our rotation punches just to warm up these muscles right in here. So when you're ready, hands in light fists and go ahead and punch. If your shoulders are sore from just going overhead, because that's harder, then feel free to punch lower. Remember, we're not necessarily strengthening right now. It's mostly for cardio. So go at whatever speed you can. Rotate and punching. Keep going. Core stays nice and tight. Shoulders are away from your ears. And same as the others, I'll count down from 3 and we'll go fast, but don't turn as much. It's more so punching here or here, not turning all the way. I don't want to tweak any back muscles. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, and go fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow it down and then stop and shake everything out. We're gonna do one more cardio one today, and that's gonna be our punching bag. So you're still sitting up tall. If you've started slouching because you're getting tired, try to sit up tall or scoot to the back of your chair and you're up tall. So either way, you're in a good posture. Core is tight, whether you're here or at the back of your chair. Make a big ball, big circle between your chest and your hands, and you're gonna be punching away. So sitting up tall and punch away. Start slow and then go fast. This one we're not gonna do as fast as we can. I want you going fast the whole time, and then we're gonna slow it down and reverse. So quickly, quickly, quickly. If you keep hitting your hand, I know I have some days my coordination is very off. You can do the same thing out here. Maybe like you're drumming or you're stirring a cookie mix. But keep going, keep your shoulders away from your ears, neck is relaxed, punch, punch, punch. All right, and then slow it down and then reverse. And once you got it, speed back up. Go, go, go. We'll be here for about 15 seconds. Oh, this is not as coordinated for me. Hitting my fist every now and then. My shoulders are getting tired, so I'm gonna lower, but I'm still far away from my chest. And 3, 2, 1, slow it down and stop and shake out. Take a sip of water. I left mine up here, and I'll get to showing you what the exercises are going to be. Okay, so as promised, we're going to be focusing on the inside, the front, the outside, and the back of our hips. Each of these are so important to helping us stay stable. So the inside is the adductors. Those muscles actually start here and go all the way down to the outside of our knee, or sorry, the inside of our knee. So we're not going to use any equipment or like resistance bands or anything today. You could if you wanted to, but we're not going to. So you're going to put your hands in just light fists next to each other and put them between your thighs, wherever it lands for you. We all have different lengths of our hands. Some of you guys might be closer to your knees. I have short arms, I think. So for me, it's more my upper thighs. No, wherever it lands is fine. And you just want to make sure you're on the inner thighs, not the top, but the inner. And then you're going to squeeze in and relax, in and relax. Now, I don't want you to squeeze with 100% of your strength. I would say try to aim for 50 to 70% of your strength, and you're just squeezing in and relaxing. If it's uncomfortable, you can actually put your hands like this. Of course, that's not as narrow, and you just squeeze into your flat hands if this was uncomfortable. So we're going to do 10 of those, just slow and steady. For this round, stay at my pace. So when you're ready, go ahead. Oh, and sorry, before we get started, make sure that your feet and your knees are in the same alignment. I don't want you like this. So if you're angled at that V, move your feet in. Okay. All right. So once you're there, go ahead and squeeze in. 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Don't just bounce out of it. And again, squeeze and relax and squeeze and relax. Squeeze. You might even feel a little bit of an upper arm exercise here, and relax. Squeeze. You should mostly feel it in your inner thighs, and relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. 2 more. Squeeze. Relax. And 1 more. Squeeze. And relax. Our inner thigh muscles have a strong correlation to our abdominal muscles. So next time we do that, we're also going to include our core in a more aware state. You probably were including your core anyways, but we'll just be heavily focusing on that. Okay, so now for the front. So we've got our inner thigh strengthening. Now for our front strengthening, as you likely know, my favorite is the marching. I'll give you the option of doing the marching seated and sitting up nice and tall. You won't have as much motion here, but that's fine. It's not about how much motion. Or you can lean back, or you can stand up. And you can hold on to something while you're standing if you wanted to do the standing option. So we're focusing on just purely using these muscles, whether you're sitting, reclined, or standing. Make sure that your knee and your foot are in the same alignment. I don't want it coming out like this or in like that. This is a more common one. So make sure it's perfect alignment like that. I'm going to do the sitting up tall. So when you're ready, we'll do 10 of these, not necessarily any hold, just slow the whole time. So go ahead and follow me. Slowly up and slowly down. Slowly up and slowly down. And up and down. Up, down. Up, down. Up. And you can switch too. I already feel my hip flexors starting to cramp a little bit. So about halfway, I might lean back. Just listen to your body. And down, slowly up, slowly down. However much motion you had, even if it's different on each side. That was 5. We have 5 more each time. Up, down, slowly up, slowly down. I need to look down to concentrate on this because it does take some effort to think about exactly what you're doing, what speed you're going. Up, down. 2 more, slowly up and down, up, down. 1 more each side, up, down, up, and down. All right, that was the front side. Now for the outside, I'm going to give you 2 different options. If you want the seated option, it's our seated clamshell exercise where your feet are in, knees are in, and you're just opening and squeeze the butt. And then relax and squeeze and relax. Or you can do a standing option where you stand, you hold on to the back of your chair or something, and you're up tall. Your weight is more on one leg, and the leg that has less weight is going out to the side. And same thing, you're still squeezing your butt cheek. So it would look like this, squeeze. Even if it only goes here, squeeze. You know, it doesn't matter the motion, it just matters that you're squeezing and activating the right muscles. So this round, I'm going to do the seated option. So when you're ready, you're up tall, tighten your core muscles. You can hold on to your chair and you're going to open your legs, squeeze, 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 and relax. So let's do 6 of these, and then we'll take a break and do 6 more. For those of you standing, you'll do 6 each side. So let's start over. You just did a bonus one. So, okay, go ahead and open and squeeze the glutes and in. Open, squeeze, and hold, 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 and close. Open, squeeze, and hold, and relax. Open and squeeze, and this time you are squeezing your glutes as much as you can, and relax. Open and squeeze, and relax. And then 1 more, open and squeeze, and relax. If you're standing, go ahead and switch sides, so shift your weight to the opposite leg. And for those of us sitting, we're going to do 6 more of the same thing. So go ahead, open and squeeze the glutes as much as you can. Hold, 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 relax. Open and squeeze, hold, and relax. Open, squeeze, and relax. I can feel mine starting to quiver a little bit. Open and squeeze, and relax. 2 more. Open, squeeze the glutes, and relax. 1 more. I know we're probably getting tired. Make sure if you're sitting, that your ankles aren't rolling. Open, squeeze the butt, and relax. Nice job. Okay, so now we've done the inside, the front, and the outside. So the only thing left is the back. So there's going to be two options for this. Option number one, if you want to stay seated, is an isometric exercise. So you're not necessarily going to feel this, or sorry, you will feel it. You're not going to see as much movement. So what you're going to do if you're seated is you're going to do this exercise, but you're not actually going to move your leg. So you're pushing your foot down into the ground as if you're trying to drag it through mud, but don't actually let it move. And you should still feel it on the back of your butt, the back of your thigh. So it's an isometric contraction. You're pulling it to bend, but it's not actually bending. If you want to do this exercise standing, what you're going to do is you're standing, good posture, sure I don't kick my plant. And again, your weight is on one side and you're just going to go directly back and squeeze the butt and relax and back. So if you were standing for the first one, from it looks like this one is just straight back. All right. We'll do 6 each side. So if anyone does stand, just 6 one side and 6 the other. If you're sitting, 6 one side, 6 the other. These muscles can cramp easily. So just beware if you start feeling like, oh my gosh, my leg is tightening and it hurts, take a break. And then when you jump back in, just don't pull as much or don't do as much movement. Okay. So let's start with either leg. I'm going to start with my left leg. And when you're ready, go ahead and pull, hold, and relax. And pull back and relax. So we're holding for about a solid 2 seconds. Pull, pull, pull. You should feel back here working and relax. And pull as if you're trying to bend your knee. Pull and hold and relax. 2 more. Pull, hold, relax. And 1 more. Pull, hold, and relax. You can straighten that leg out if it did feel like it started to cramp at all. And then we'll switch to the other side. So you're still sitting up tall, tighten your core muscles, opposite leg, pull back, hold, and relax. And pull. And you remember when you relax, it's slowly release. So slowly let go. And pull. And relax. And pull, relax. 2 more, pull back and relax. Last one, pull, 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 and then slowly relax. Good job. Okay, so we're going to do that all over again. I'm going to do the standing option just for demonstration purposes only. You guys can stay seated or standing, but we'll be doing the middle, front, outside, and back all over again. If you do need to shake anything out, if any of your muscles just feel like they're getting a little tight, go ahead and do a quick stretch or just shake out. We will do a stretch after this round, but make sure your body's feeling okay right now. Okay. All right, and when you're ready, we'll get started with the first one again. Also, I didn't think about this before our class today. If you do have something, I'm trying to see if something that I have in this room that I could use. I mean, not the best example, but if you do have something that doesn't move, like this is just a candle, it's pretty low, so I'm not worried about spilling it or anything. You could squeeze something instead of your hands, but still keep in mind that your knees and your feet should be in the same alignment. So this is pretty narrow. So if my feet are wide, I'm now at that V. So scoot your feet in and you squeeze this instead of your hands or your fist. So if you do have something around, you could use that, but not necessary. Okay. So hands like fists, or if that seems to bother your thighs at all, you can close your hands like this. Whatever you do, make sure you move your feet in so that they're in good alignment with your knees. Tighten your core muscles this time. So with every squeeze, I also want you to think about crunching down. And you'll see my back does not do much movement. I'm not doing this It's just a slight crunch purely from the abdominal area. Okay, we'll do 10 of these, so get into position. You guys are probably already there. Okay, all right, and ready? Go ahead and squeeze and hold, 2, 3, and relax. So again, you're squeezing your inner thighs and your abs. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. So it's not much movement. Anyone looking at you would think, what's she doing? Why is she sitting like that? Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Nice job. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. And last one, squeeze, 2, 3, and relax. Nice job. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this standing. You guys can do standing or seated, but we're focusing on the front of our thighs now, the front of our hips. So we're doing our marching exercise. If you're doing it seated at the edge, it will look like this. Make sure your alignment is good and you don't have any floppiness. Or, I'm assuming we're all getting tired, I know I am, you can recline, especially if you want to get more motion. You'll get more if you're reclined. Again, just make sure your angle is here and not here. And if you're standing, I'm going to have my chair to the side so you can see me, but you guys can stand behind your chair. And it's still the same thing. You want to make sure your leg is here and not here. The reason this is so important, just an FYI, if we practice this over and over again, either seated or standing, and every time we lift our knee up, it goes out to this side, then when you take a step forward, instead of it coming up in a nice movement like that, it can instead go here, and then you trip over yourself. So you really want to make sure there's this good angle, good alignment. Okay, regardless of what position you're in, tighten your core muscles. If you are standing, shift your weight to one side. I'm going to personally go side to side, and we'll do 10 each side. So tighten the core up nice and tall, and go ahead and slowly lift and slowly down. Remember, there's no hold for this one, just slow movement. And up and down. Up. So if you are standing, you'll notice there's weight shifting as well. Up and down. Just keep your core muscles tight. Slowly up and down. Other side. Up, down, up and down. Squeeze those core muscles and down. Up and down. Up and down. 5 more. Up, squeeze, up and down. If you are standing, ideally try not to lock that standing leg out. Up and down. Up and down. Try to stay up tall, either whether you're sitting or standing. Make sure you're not angling at all or tipping one side of your body. Down 1 more each side. Up, squeeze the core, down, and last one, up and down. Nice job. Okay, next one is the outside of our thighs. So if you're doing it seated, let me show you from the side. This is our seated clamshell. So you're at the edge of your chair. Feet are touching, and you're going to open your knees and squeeze your butt. I feel like a little lift when I squeeze my butt. So squeeze your butt as hard as you absolutely can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You're going to hold and make sure for the most part that your toes are staying down. Your big toe should still be on the ground. Yes, that's going to mean you can't open as wide, but it's not about how much you can open. It's more about squeezing those glutes. If you're standing, it's going to, I should from this angle, you're up, most of your weight's on this side, and you're just going directly out to the side, still squeezing your butt and down. So because I sat last time, I'll do seated this time. You guys can do whatever feels good to you. We're going to do 6 each side. If you're sitting, it's going to be 6, rest, and then 6. So just 12 total for you guys. Okay, so up nice and tall, whether you're sitting or standing, squeeze the core muscles. And when you're ready, open, squeeze, and down. Open, squeeze the glutes, squeeze, 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 and down. It's just about a 2-second hold. Open and squeeze, down. Open, squeeze, and down. 2 more. Open, squeeze, 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 and down. The squeeze is one of the most important parts. Last one, open and squeeze, and down. All right, if you're standing, we'll switch sides. You can shake your legs out if you need. Shift your weight over here. If you're sitting, same exact thing. Up tall, core nice and tight, and open, squeeze, and down. Open, squeeze, 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 and down. The reason I keep saying squeeze is because if you don't think about it, it doesn't happen on its own typically. Open and squeeze, and down. 3 more. Open, squeeze, and down. Remember, it's not about the motion, how much you open. It's just about getting there. Hold, 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 and down. 1 more. Open and squeeze, and down. Nice job. Last one, we've done the inside, front, and outside. So now we got to do our back. So if you're sitting, again, it's this isometric pull. So as if you're trying to do this, but don't let your foot actually move. And ideally, you'll feel this behind your knee or anywhere from your knee to your butt. Anywhere in there is fair game. And it's just going to be that sliding. Let me think. If for some reason you don't feel that, you can instead think about pushing your whole leg, like especially your foot, but think about pushing your whole leg down towards the ground. That does use your quads a little bit more than the back, but you'll still activate the back. So if you're having a hard time feeling it, you can try that instead. If you're doing the standing option, then you're just going directly, actually I'll show you from this side. We're just going to be going directly back. And again, with each one, you're squeezing your glutes. So we'll do 6 each side. So up nice and tall, whether you're sitting or standing, core muscles are tight, shoulders wobble away from your ears. If you're standing, we'll shift our weight onto one side. If you're sitting, just start with one leg. And when you're ready, back and hold, 2, 3, relax. And if you're standing, when I'm relaxing, I'm just putting my foot down. I'm not coming all the way back to where we started. Okay, and back, hold, squeeze the butt, and relax. And back, hold, 2, 3, relax. Back, hold, 2, 3, relax. Back, hold, 2, 3, relax. 1 more on this side. Back, hold, 2, 3, relax. If you're standing, fix your posture and shift your weight on the other side. If you're sitting, same thing, but just make sure you're staying up tall. Last round, and when you're ready, go ahead and go back and hold, squeeze, 2, 3, and relax. Back, squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Back, squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Back and squeeze, 2, 3, relax. I'll show you from this side. I'm not really moving much. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. And 1 more. Back, squeeze, 2, 3, and relax. Nice job. I hope that your guys' glutes are a little bit sore tomorrow. That would mean that you're activating muscles that might not have been used recently. Also, I want to share a term with you that I learned recently called gluteal amnesia. So a lot of today we've been focusing on squeezing your glutes. If you don't feel it, just keep practicing. There's this phrase called gluteal amnesia where basically your glutes just aren't really activating. They've been so weak and deconditioned that they don't know yet when and how to work. So by doing these exercises, you're training that. So if when I was saying squeeze, you didn't feel it in the right area, just keep practicing, you'll get there. So we're just gonna do, let's do 3 stretches, just one time each. If you're watching the recording, you can do them another time, or maybe 3. We're gonna do the inner, the back, and the outer. So we'll start with the inner. You'll open your legs as wide as what feels comfortable to you, and you'll hinge forward, pushing your thighs open. This is a stretch for the inner thighs. As always, you can do one twist and have one side stretch more than the other. Or some people have one leg straight instead of both legs wide. So for this one, just do what feels good for you. And we'll hold for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds per side. I like to do a little twist, so I feel it more on one side than the other. And keep breathing. And slowly come up. If you were doing the stretch for both sides, you'll do the same thing again. If you were twisting to feel the stretch more on one side, then you'll twist the other way. So go ahead and get back into that stretch and hold. And slowly come out of that. We'll do a stretch for our hamstring, so the back side. This is the one where we just let one leg go straight. This side. So one leg goes straight. Doesn't matter what your ankle is doing. Sit up tall and hinge. Now with my toes down like this, I actually feel the stretch in my hamstring, but also the front of my ankle. That's fine, nice double whammy, 2 stretches in one. If your toes are more up, you'll feel it in your calf. That can be really hard to do though. Ideally, you'll feel this stretch anywhere from the back of your hip or your butt down to your knee on the back side. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, slowly back out of that, and you can round, don't feel the stretch. And then we'll switch sides. So straighten the leg. Whatever you want to do with your ankle is fine by me. Once you're ready, sit up tall. If you need more of a stretch, hinge forward with a flat back. If you need more of a stretch, arch your low back. It's a small movement down here, but almost like you're trying to pull your tailbone away from the chair. And hold. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, slowly come back up to the top. Round, get rid of that stretch, and you can bring that leg in. And our final stretch of the day, we again, as you know, we focused a lot on the glutes. So we're gonna pick our leg up and do the figure 4 stretch. I'll show you from the diagonal. So this top leg that you're stretching is fully relaxed. And then sit up tall. And if you need more of a stretch, you can even hinge forward. And you should be feeling this one anywhere from here to here. If you're feeling it anywhere on the back of this leg near your hamstring, you're actually putting tension through this leg. Relax it, completely dead weight. And then it should transfer more to the outside. Keep a flat back the whole time. And keep breathing. Enjoy the stretch. I wish I could stay here forever, but let's come out of that one and slouch, get rid of the stretch, and then lower and switch legs. Oh, I can already tell this one's a little bit tighter than the other. Once you're in the right position and this leg is fully dead weight and relaxed, go ahead and sit up tall. If you need more of a stretch, you can hinge with a flat back. And hold here. You should feel it in the same spot as I demonstrated on the other side, but just on the opposite leg. So outer hip or outer thigh. And if you do find that your glutes are sore or any of your muscles are sore by the end of the day today or throughout the day, any of these stretches would be great ones to continue doing. All right, and slowly back off, sit back up tall, round and get rid of the stretch. And then lower your leg. All right, I have one piece of advice I want to share, and then I'll let you guys go with your day. So my piece of advice that I want to share today came from an email that I got, was it this week or last week, recently? And it was missing link members saying, Dr. Gretchen, I feel like all of my exercises are just consuming my life. And I never want that to be the case. As I've preached this, how doing your exercises all at once is just as effective as exercising throughout the day. And that's true. Research proves that. However, if you're in that latter group where you're doing your exercises throughout the day, it can be really easy to get sucked into that mindset of all you're thinking about are your exercises or some form of symptom management. And so I have two tips for that. Number one, if you're doing your exercises throughout the day and you are feeling this way, then either switch to doing them all at once instead, even just temporarily, just for a week or two. Or if you're doing it maybe 4 times throughout the day, switch to maybe just 2 times instead of 4 times. So you're lessening the amount of time that you're doing it throughout the day. And then the second tip is pick something that completely distracts you from anything else. And if you can't think of something, then find a new hobby that does that. For me, there's 2 things that do that. One is boxing. I had never boxed before, but there was like a Groupon years and years ago for boxing classes, and it sounded interesting. So I took a class and I found immediately that it was the only form of exercise that truly takes my mind off of other things. My mom is a big runner and power walker, and she loves it. She can clear her mind that way. But anytime I go for a run or a walk, I'm just thinking about my to-do list and what I'm going to make for dinner. And I'm just thinking about all the things. But with boxing, at least for me, the instructor is calling out numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one has its own coordination. Like, so 1 is this. 2 is this. So you need to be so focused on what they're saying. So I really loved boxing for that reason. But another thing that does it for me is quilting and really any type of sewing, embroidery, because you have to be so focused on what you're doing. So for me, that works, but it's so different for everyone. So the second tip is find something that you can do ideally each day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to just release your mind from thinking about anything, including your MS, including your exercises, because that can help reduce that feeling of, oh my gosh, it's just always on my mind. It's just consuming my whole life. So I hope that's helpful. As always, if you guys have any requests for certain types of classes, let me know, shoot me an email, and we'll get it done for you. Have a great day. Thanks for joining.